They've got some problems, but if they go to another nation, they drop us like a dog, like a female drops a male after a date because he doesn't like her, right?
Donald Trump was giving a speech in South Carolina over the weekend, and he said that. I don't even know what that is or what that means. Perhaps you can decipher it for me. But Donald Trump once again shows how cognitively impaired he is, how dangerous he is, how unhinged he is. Let me just go over some of the lowlights of this speech in South Carolina. But here Donald Trump brags once again about passing a cognitive exam. He thinks this is an important data point for those attending this event to know about this cognitive exam that he apparently keeps on taking over and over again. Here, play this clip.
And I've called for cognitive tests. I actually think anybody running for president should have tests. I think, and I pass them every time. Dr. Ronnie Jackson gave me the first one.
The speech in South Carolina got very dangerous, where Donald Trump claims that he told one of our allies that if Russia invaded them or attacked them, if Donald Trump didn't believe that they fully paid their bills, whatever that means, especially because Donald Trump is someone who's never paid his bills his entire life, that Donald Trump would actually cheer on Russia to destroy this NATO nation, a clear violation of Article 5 of NATO. But folks, this is the new Republican Party, MAGA. Play the clip.
They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
Here, Donald Trump brags about tanking the bipartisan border deal, the toughest border deal in generations, whose lead negotiator was a Republican senator from Oklahoma who Donald Trump previously endorsed in 2022, Oklahoma Republican Senator James Lankford, who Donald Trump praised as being tough on the border because Donald Trump wants to cause chaos at the border, and then he wants to spend his time on the campaign trail whining about the border instead of actually fixing it. Play the clip.
So on Monday, go vote. Early voting, go vote. Let's not forget that this week we also had another massive victory that every conservative should celebrate. We crushed crooked Joe Biden's disastrous open borders bill. Crushed it. Mike Johnson did a very good job, and the whole group did a great job in Congress. We crushed.
Here, Donald Trump mocks Nikki Haley and Nikki Haley's husband and says, where is Nikki Haley's husband? Let me show you the clip, and then let's talk about that in a moment. Play the clip.
Over to see me at Mar-a-Lago. Sir, I will never run against you. She brought her husband. Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away. What happened to her husband? What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone. He knew.
As Nikki Haley responded on social media to actually one of the people who work at the MeidasTouch network, Asen, who posted that clip, Nikki Haley wrote, Michael Haley, her husband, is deployed, serving our country, something you know nothing about. Someone who continually disrespects the sacrifices of military families has no business becoming commander-in-chief. And her husband, Michael Haley's deployed with the National Guard in Africa right now. And shortly after Donald Trump's speech, Nikki Haley spoke, and here's what she had to say about that moment. Play the clip.
Donald Trump had a rally today. And in that rally, he mocked my husband's military service. And I'll say this. Donald, if you have something to say, don't say it behind my back. Get on a debate stage and say it to my face. If you mock the service of a combat veteran, you don't deserve a driver's license, let alone being president of the United States.
Here, a confused Donald Trump forgets who is president and talks about Obama being the president. Play the clip.
And then I hear that they like Obama better. They should like Obama better. You know why? Because he didn't ask for anything. We were like the stupid country of the world, and we're not going to be the stupid country of the world any longer. We're not going to be. Got bad under this guy. So he now wants to send them $50-60 billion.
Here, Donald Trump, again, showing serious cognitive impairment, talks about, this is what Trump says, quickly, says President Trump, quickly. What are you even talking about? Here, listen to this. Play the clip.
We can be energy independent, and we can even be energy dominant. And yes, quickly says that President Trump is saying you will be energy dominant very soon. We are a nation.
Here, Donald Trump says you don't need legislation to address border security. All you have to do when you're in office is say, shut it down, and then it shuts down, and then everything's perfect. All you have to do is say the magic words. Play the clip.
You know, you don't need a bill or a plan. All you have to do as president say, shut the border, like I did. I said, shut the border. You don't need bills and plans.
And even Republican from Texas, Chip Roy, says that that's beyond absurd. I mean, it's obvious it's absurd, but let me give you the perspective of a far right-wing member of Congress saying how absurd that is. Play the clip.
No, we're not going to just pass the buck and say that, oh, any president can walk in and secure the border. I saw former President Trump make that allegation earlier today on one of his social media posts. All the president has to do is declare the border is closed, and it's closed. Well, with all due respect, that didn't happen in 2017, 18, 19, and 20. There were millions of people who came into the United States during those 4 years.
Let me also show you this clip here of Republican Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma, who also talks about how when Trump was in office, there were some days 4,000 border crossings every day. And we shouldn't be creating this fan fiction as though things were all of a sudden just everything worked when Trump was in office, when it was the exact opposite. And then COVID hit. Here, play Republican Senator James Lankford. Play it.
I would also remind folks during the Trump administration, we also had days of more than 4,000 people that were illegally crossing the border under the Trump administration in 2019, and they were struggling because there's gaps and loopholes in the law.
Yeah, but Senator, you know that Donald Trump, we were at a 45-year low in illegal crossings under Donald Trump, and that's just a fact. I've got the evidence to
dramatically fewer.
A 45-year low under Donald Trump in 2019.
We also had days of 3,000, 4,000, 4,500 that were happening.
But nothing like what we've seen right now. Okay, let me just
trying to figure out how to be able to implement it.
Okay, I'm sorry to talk over you, Senator. I think we might have a little bit of a delay.
Here, Donald Trump says that the biggest danger confronting the United States of America is from within, not our adversaries abroad who want to destroy us. And then he kind of just, I don't know, just puts all these words together and just says Syria, socialist, fascist, communist, Syria, socialist. I don't even know what he's even talking about here. Play the clip.
And the danger from within is far greater, in my opinion, than the danger on the outside of our country. That's danger, but this is serious danger. The fascists, the communists, the serious socialists. We don't even talk about socialism. I mean, remember
Here, Donald Trump claims that people never saw classified documents in Mar-a-Lago because they were always locked and the Secret Service was always protecting it. And then Donald Trump says that he was president all of the time, forever. I don't know what he's even talking about. Play the clip.
People saw those documents. They didn't see the ones we had. We had them locked up, and we had Secret Service all the time because I was president all the time.
By the way, Democratic Congressmember Jared Moskowitz posted a photo of these boxes that were just kind of everywhere in Mar-a-Lago, just in the bathroom, in a ballroom, just, just throughout Mar-a-Lago, no safety and security at all, precautions pretty much at all. And then we know from recent filings by Special Counsel Jack Smith that there were tens of thousands of people at Mar-a-Lago who never even signed in at all, with almost no security precautions being taken at all. Here, Donald Trump talks about running the whole East Coast twice. Play the clip.
We start off with nothing. We don't have that. We have to run the whole East Coast like I did twice. I did better the second time. But we have to run the East Coast.
Donald Trump says that he had a great day, decade, month, year in Nevada. Play the clip.
And then we had a great night, day, month, year, decade In Nevada, we love Nevada, 99% in the Nevada caucus.
Donald Trump says that he never admits when he's wrong. Play the clip.
They'll put it in, oh, did he say state? They don't have the correction. I never correct because I hate to admit I'm wrong. It's the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Part of Donald Trump's stump speech is praising Vladimir Putin and President Xi. This is no different. In South Carolina, play the clip.
A scene like that, and there's never been an embarrassment like that in the history of our country. We've never been so embarrassed. And that's why Putin, I believe, because I know Putin very well, very smart, very sharp. They hate when I say that, you know. They say, oh, you called him President Xi of China. I say, very smart man. They ask me, is he smart? I said, well, let's go a step above that. Let's say he's a brilliant guy. The press goes, he called President Xi brilliant. Well, here's a guy controls 1.4 billion people with an iron fist. Yeah, I'd say he's smart.
Donald Trump discusses more about cognitive exams. Play the clip.
Anybody running for president, I don't think Nikki would pass the test, I really don't. But anybody running for president, regardless of age, I think they should pass the test. Vice president, certain positions, they say it's not constitutional. I'd be willing to waive it. Let's waive that. But I think they should. Haley.
Trump mocks people who stutter and says that stuttering is caused by the brain not working. Horrific, horrific, horrific. Play the clip.
Now, fortunately, he was stuttering badly, and he has and this is not from any problem other than the brain's not working too well. We got to put.
Donald Trump again attacking windmills and saying that America's not building anything when there's actually 40,000 new infrastructure projects across the country as a result of the Infrastructure Act that was signed into law and led by President Biden. And there's a manufacturing boom currently taking place. Play the clip.
We're not building anything. The windmills aren't working.
Donald Trump says something about garage floor. I'm not even sure what he's saying. Play the clip.
And leaving them strewn all over the garage floor under his.
Donald Trump goes into a xenophobic attack on President Obama. Play the clip.
Or by, sometimes I'll interchange. I'll say by Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein. But every time I say that, the fake news, oh, that's a lot of fake news back there. The fake news. Every time I say it, anytime I want to have a little fun, Governor, we have fun sometimes, even though the country's going to hell, we have to have a little bit of fun. But every time I interchange Barack Hussein Obama, remember Rush Limbaugh? He'd go Barack Hussein Obama. I wonder what he was getting at. But every time I do interchanging, we do a little interchanging, they say, he doesn't know who the president is. He thinks it's Barack Obama. I say, no, but I think Barack Obama has a lot to do with running the country right now, and we can't let that happen. He has a lot to do with it.
And folks, that is just another Trump speech. That's just what he does. I mean, they're certainly escalating and getting more unhinged, more deranged. And as they get more unhinged, legacy media seems to ignore it more and more and more. And they want to focus on President Biden having a very small gaffe when he's talking about kind of complex kind of international relations and showing a command of American policy. That finds its way into the front page of legacy media. But when Trump does what you just saw, not a peep at all. This is what Ron Filipkowski, our editor-in-chief, explained. He said, today's speech by Trump framed this election perfectly. Our guy is old and imperfect. He screws up sometimes, but listens to advice and makes good decisions, referring to President Biden. And then Filipkowski goes, their guy is old and a deranged madman charged with 91 felonies who will dismantle global security and trade agreements. And Filipkowski is very, very accurate about that. And one of the things that Filipkowski also explained is that here's a sneak preview of the headlines. He wrote, Meidas, Trump says he will refuse to honor NATO treaty. New York Times, Biden mispronounces a word. And predictably, the MeidasTouch headline, Trump says he will refuse to honor the NATO treaty. And then the New York Times headline, why the age issue is hurting Biden so much more than Trump. That's the New York Times headline. So predictable. And when you see Donald Trump there, it's obvious, New York Times, it's because you're pushing a narrative. I just showed the clips of Donald Trump's speech in South Carolina. If that's not a red alert, I don't know what is. That's why people are watching the MeidasTouch Network, to get actual news, not this contrived narratives from New York Times trying to hoist up fascism. It's despicable. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together. Have a great day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.